Hey, Fanboy Nation.
This is your pal Daffy Duck, and you're watching.
We're watching Fanboy.
A fanboy, etc.
Fanboy Nation.
I assume Tom.
This is the face of an insomniac, but we're talking about the movie Sleepless today, and poor Nyambi Nyambi, because this man celebrated his birthday yesterday, and unfortunately his gift is celebrating it with me today. So gentlemen, how are you? How are you today? Congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're good. How are you?
I can't complain too much. You know, you guys put the face to Insomnia and made it palatable for quite a few people. It's not, you know, what was the, was it the Guy Pearce movie where he was an insomniac and just couldn't tell the reality between night and day, or was that Christian Bale?
That both Nolan movies. I believe it was Insomnia and Pacino.
Okay, and that's another one. So, you know, you put a romantic spin on this with two insomniacs, Rebecca's character and you know, and Noah's character, going back and forth through the late night hours and into the twilight of essentially a romance. How do you decide to do a romantic film based on insomnia?
Yeah, so you know, it kind of came out of the ether a little bit. I myself am a chronic insomniac, and I was up one morning. We were out of coffee, went for a coffee run, kind of walked out into the quiet and the beauty. At the time, I was really struck by the beauty of New York City in the pre-dawn hours. A couple of people out here and there, also interested in like what's going on with them. And I got my coffee and I was walking around, and for some reason, the idea came to me. You know, what if with a romantic backdrop, two people ran into each other under these conditions, and what if they took a chance on each other, and what would that look like? And from there, it was just one of those moments that you hope for, where I took the coffee back home, I started typing, and those were the first several pages, and eventually became Sleepless.
And then Nyambi, you came along later on, I assume, because Michael and Rebecca have a very close relationship, so I just assumed that she was already cast before the script was even written. And here you come along. So tell me about your part with the film.
No, we're roommates. We all live together. No,
Yeah.
no.
You're just sitting across from him with the natural light to your back.
Knocking on the door, being like, "Y'all have anything for me?" No, they you know, it just you know, the you know, my team came to me with the script, and you know, I read it and I said, let's do it, because you know, I wanted an opportunity to challenge myself and play and explore you know, these interesting characters. I felt like it was a really good story. So yeah, and then I knew Rebecca from way back when, from our Stella Adler days. We weren't in school together, but we crossed you know, in the hallway. You know, so did they have hallways? I guess it was a hallway. But yeah, we would cross paths. So like, it was a familiar face. So to be like, oh, Rebecca, yeah, okay, great. Let's, you know, decades later, let's you know, finally make this happen, work, see what happens, and it's beautiful filmmaking.
And you guys pulled it off. It's a gorgeous film.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Michael. I do have to ask, since you know, you woke up one morning and realized the quiet and somberness of New York, and then 2020 hits, and the city is essentially a ghost town. For you personally, how does it go from a somber notion for a film about the wee hours of Manhattan to now everything's shut down, nobody can do anything?
Oh, good question. You know, I think what I would hope from the situation is that as things at whatever pace they go start to reopen, that this can be a source of inspiration and a source of hope for people, so that, you know, I think we're all, many of us, if not all of us, are feeling very isolated right now. We're missing such a crucial part of what being human is, in terms of our more normal human instincts to connect in person, not just online. So what I would hope is that, you know, we shot the film just, you know, a little bit before everything happened. You know, we were on the festival circuit when everything was at its worst, and now that you know, people are slowly getting back into society, what I would hope is that they can watch this movie and get a little bit of just comfort from both perspectives, you know, because the characters in the Sleepless start out feeling, you know, lonely, isolated, alienated due to their insomnia and existing at that time of day. And, you know, you learn that there's a lot going on in their heads in terms of how they fit into society as well, as the movie progresses. But over the course of the film, as they connect, hopefully we connect. And you know, I think it would touch me if people watch this movie now, even where society is, and see, you know, a path towards reconnection with ourselves and with other people.
And Nyambi, how does it feel to kind of, well, essentially play a character that's loosely based on Michael's real life sleeping habits?
I mean, actually made things easier as far as research. It's just oh gosh, I need to find this out. Okay, Michael. You know, I didn't have to, you know. So there was someone already that I could connect to. Then I can also connect it with my own, you know, sort of freshman version of Insomniac. You know. There's the varsity version, and then there's the freshman version. I have a freshman version of it, but be able to then connect it and then sort of make it palatable for myself. I wanted to answer about the COVID, you know, the COVID of it all in terms of the time we're in. I almost feel like, in a weird way, because of everything that's happened over the last year, this film is in a place, in a weird way, a place where people can even better receive it in a way, you know, because everyone in their own way has, like you said, Michael, been isolated, been feeling alone, been feeling like there's like, you know, there was certainly an audience for it before when we shot it, which is why we, you know, it's why you like we you know, we do the film, because there's an audience for it. But I feel like now even more so, I think there's a place for us to connect to, and yeah, I want people to be able, when they watch this film, to know they're not alone, you know, and to know that they're not alone, but their thoughts are valid, that there's space for you, and that it is important to give space to others. Yeah, and I think that's what you see these two people do, is give space to the other, for the other person to truly be seen.
The one thing I noticed about this film, and then television and cinema in general, we're no longer limited to 22 minutes, 42 minutes, 90 minutes, 120 minutes in making a film. This one's only 77 minutes, and it tells its full story in that time. There was no need to add an extra 18 minutes to get it to that 90-minute mark. How does that liberate you as a filmmaker, Michael, to have this vision for your work and say, okay, 77 is all I needed, 77 is all we're going to give?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head right there. Like, I understand that maybe sometimes it's done and maybe sometimes it's even advised. But my feeling is, you know, with respect to the writing process, like first draft through, usually I shoot the 13th, I guess. For me, 13 is the lucky number for the draft that goes into production. That, you know, every story has its, you know, its organic length, and that doesn't mean that like that it's completely valid for certain lengths to be more prevalent than others for other reasons. But to add more or to subtract more from the script and from the film I think would have done a disservice to the story. And I appreciate what you're saying about how it told its story in its time. I think it's also like a product of the specific experience that we were going for. Like, you go into a bit of a time warp when you can't sleep. It's like you're on from one moment you could be like watching the clock and it's moving so slowly and you just want to get to sleep, and then all of a sudden, like, the whole night's gone by, you haven't slept, you don't know what happened, and it's been like 3 hours. So yeah, it all, we sought at every stage for things to feel certainly like interesting from a storytelling point of view, but within that, real and grounded and recognizable to the real people that are hopefully going to be watching it now.
Now, Nyambi, your birthday is April 26th. The movie is released on VOD April 27th. It's an independent film. Was that part of the enticement of sitting there and going, look, it's an indie budget, so you're not going to get Mike and Molly money, but we'll release it as a birthday present for you?
Mike and Molly money, shoot, the Good Fight money. I'm not doing that. No, look, it's a great birthday gift to have it released right after. I love acting. I love being an artist, and anytime we get a chance to tell a story, collaborate and do not do it. I was about to like go into a Vanilla Ice lyric. Collaborate.
I think it played through all of our heads.
I said collaborate. I was like collaborate, and I was like, no. But we, anytime you get to collaborate with other artists, it's just awesome. Such a great feeling, especially when it's the thing you love doing, and being around other people who love what they do. It's great, and then to see it all culminate. To this moment being April 27th, the release of our film, The Sleepless. It's great, and it makes us feel like the time was worth it, and hopefully people find that the film is worth their time.
It definitely should be, because I enjoyed it quite a bit. Michael, I know, we made it 77 minutes and you had a coherent story, but let's say you had to shoehorn in one more scene because, let's say Viacom was the one that chose to distribute it, and we were like, we need one more scene to make it to 90 minutes. What would have been the one that could have been shoehorned in, but didn't really add to the story or your vision of it?
Oh, like if I could add a scene, like if I had to add a scene, what would I add? Huh. Interesting. A little playtime. I think I would want to see Zach and Sophia having had some time together back at the bodega, and to hear what Vivek would have to say about that, and how I just feel like he would be, in a really endearing way, be really pompous about it.
He would be. He would be.
All right. I think now we have the scene ready for the sequel.
Yes. This too.
Well, yeah. Having a child now, I think the sequel might have something to do with that brand of sleeplessness.
Mm-hmm.
Where the sequel ends in divorce because one of them can actually get to sleep while the other one stays up taking care of the baby the rest of the night.
How dare you be able to sleep when I can't? Yeah.
Wake up.
Yeah. One of those things. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Sleepless is available on VOD as of today, April 27th. Where can we find you guys on social media if we want to connect with you and the film?
Well, you can find, no, go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
I was going to say, best place for me is Twitter, at Michael DiBiasio, also on Instagram, same handle.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Nyambi, Nyambi.
Perfect. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Nyambi, next time I see you, hopefully it'll be at another comic convention, this time where people will be around without masks, and we can just goof off on all the toys that we see.
You will not see me till 2022.
Well, I don't
Really?
think we're going to get together till 2022 at that point with the
There you
convention.
go. Okay.
Yeah. And Michael, I'm sure it's going to be at some film festival, or if Babies R Us is still in business, one of those places for you.
Yeah.
Everyone, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for your time. Glad you enjoyed
Thank
the
you.
film.
Yeah.